What was Snark's Hour is here. It's been a long time coming. You would imagine for a first show. I guess not the first time that I've done this. Certainly not the first time that co-host Danny Carvalho's done this. Certainly not the first time the two of us have done like this. Just the first time we've done this on our own, and glad they decided to talk. Maybe talk a little Daredevil in a minute. First, we're going to talk a little us, for goodness sakes. Snark here's mid-20s go-getter.
You're not
Right.
mid-20s.
Here-
And by the way, try to adjust your mic a little bit. You're cutting a little bit, like because of the distance.
How do I adjust? Oh, do I put it closer?
Not that close.
Put it right inside my mouth. Is that a little better?
No, that's not the type of channel that we are doing.
It's all, what is that stuff called? ASMR. I'm just gonna make click sounds like a weirdo. Have you ever? Could you
Hey,
imagine?
don't judge people.
I couldn't imagine ever having to hear that. Just those little things. Like, one of the things that drives me the most nuts in the world is like the sound of what people chewing. It drives me bananas. I can't stand it. And basically, I think that's all this is when people listen to that stuff. It's like, the
Right.
sound of people chewing.
My wife also hates that sound.
Yeah.
But ASMR can be other things. Can be like brown noise, can be a white noise, can be noise from, I don't know, dishwasher, hair dryer.
That's pleasing to people.
For some people, yeah, or something that is more kind of like sound of rain. For a lot of people, sound of rain is something that is calming for them. Anyway,
Yep.
this is not the
Those people are
ASMR
plants. Those people are
discussion
plants.
podcast. This is not the ASMR discussion podcast.
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe that's the way it's gonna go.
This
This
is
is
not
brand
just
new.
our channel.
Yeah.
And we're trying to create. I mean, both me and you had previous experiences in other YouTube channels
Uh-huh.
from the last 7 years, basically.
Is that how long? It can't be.
Yeah, technically. I mean, that's not how long I think we'd be on air, but at least inside YouTube spaces, yeah.
That's crazy.
And we decided, you decided
Yeah.
to have your own channel, but
Yeah.
obviously you are unable to do everything by yourself, so you need me.
Yes, because I'm dumb.
Yeah, and you're very, very old. So the idea of this podcast is to be a place where we have conversations and discuss things that we like, which is basically nerd shit, right?
Yeah.
Basically your Marvel, your Star Wars, your DC, stuff that other channels do. We don't really have any pretense to be like a place to be the most cult criticism, very academic or anything like that. But try to have something that is a little bit more fun than like, this is my opinion, I like it, I just like it, blah, blah, blah. It's just a place to be conversational, but also try to get somewhere. Whether that whereas we have no idea, but trying to be a little bit different, which is also something that is very generic. Everybody tries to be different. But we're at least very honest about our process.
Yeah. Watch the show, talk about show, enjoy the show or not enjoy the show. We'll just say how we feel. We're probably not going to agree about a lot of things on this program. At least we won't agree about the things that we like or dislike.
I think
we can watch the same show and like different things about it for sure. I think we're going to talk about that later today.
I think the point is not like see where we agree or disagree. The point is within the agreements and disagreements and the theories and the speculations and everything that you guys that are listening / watching us also have some fun. Like sometimes it's hard to have time or even know people that you can nerd out with. And we hope this is a place where you can do it with us, within your community that you want to build. You want to have a nice community with us so we can all have some fun. Life is very hard, Snark.
Hmm.
Very hard
You don't
for a
say.
lot of people, unless you're very rich. If you're very rich, life's not that hard.
I think everybody has their own problems and stuff
Hey,
like
but
that.
hey, if I had $1 million in my bank account,
You just have different problems.
I would have different problems, but I would rather have those different problems.
You'd find them easier to deal with, I imagine, but you still have problems.
Oh my God, which Lamborghini can I buy? Oh my God, that's
If you had say you had $1 million, that's it. Like you win a lottery. Oh, congratulations! Here's $1 million, which isn't as much these days as
not that much. Like
I
he
think we
doesn't
could
buy
say
a Lamborghini.
a
does he?
Lamborghini. You could buy it. You could say like get the bottom line Lamborghini. Say it costs you $250,000. All right.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I think it's pretty high up there. It's not like the SUVs that they've come out with. There's an incredible amount of money.
Oh yeah,
So
they did do that.
yeah, so you buy one of those. That's 1/4 of all the money that you've just won gone already. You want to buy a house? You don't want to rent anymore? What kind of house are you gonna buy?
Anyway,
house
the point
that Lamborghini. It's just different problems.
The point is for us to have some fun discussing nerd shit that we like. We hope you like it too, and you have some fun listening to our banter because that's what people nowadays do. They listen to other people having conversations.
Yeah,
like they're stalkers.
Yeah, you're in the booth behind us at the restaurant listening, and you know what? We don't mind. Just keep the rattle of the forks and stuff down. Again,
Yeah,
it's
the idea is this is basically like a bar talk without maybe or maybe not there are gonna be alcohol involved.
Doubt it.
But at this moment, at least not in my side, I'm having like this move with Red Bull that my wife bought me.
Red Bull's probably worse for you than
Probably worse than alcohol.
Yeah, way worse.
Anyway, so this is the Narcist Hour. I hope you like our content. We are always open to feedback. Just try to be at least nice about it.
Yeah.
Like you're being very mean.
Yeah, and don't go after the hair color, for God's sakes. You know what I mean?
No, so enough housekeeping. Check out the description. Check out our Discord or Ko-Fi. Sure. We can talk a little bit more about it by the end. Let's stop with the vamping and let's get down to our both topics today. We're gonna talk about this. For us, it's gonna be a break. For people, the magic of video editing is gonna be like 2 seconds. All right, first cut of the episode because, well, full disclosure, Snark's Canadian internet, which I don't think you mentioned you're Canadian in the intro.
I don't know if I have to. People can see the.
Can you say the word about
the beauty? Yes, I say about. I don't say a boot. I think that's something that came from like the Maritimes in the 1940s, and people hung on to that. I don't have Americans say the word either.
By the way, Canadians.
I do say a all the time though. That is true.
Good people.
Sure.
The good things about Canadians that they can be amazing people, or they can be just like you.
How dare you, mister? That is ridiculous. On the inaugural episode. That's true.
Like, they were amazing, which the grand majority is, or they huge pieces of shit.
I think that's true. That's true with anybody. And that's something I can't say and stuff like that. Everyone, like, even where I live, called Friendly Manitoba, is like, oh, everyone's so friendly. I don't know how friendly a lot of people are. Trust me. I've been here long enough to know not everybody is super friendly all the time. Maybe even including good old Snark here. You know what I mean?
So, to get to our first point, we're going to talk about Daredevil Season 2. It wrapped it up a few weeks ago. Feels like an eternity, but it wasn't that long ago.
No.
Even though by the time this episode comes out, it's going to be even longer. We're not trying to reach trends here, but obviously, it's Marvel is one of the things that we really like in watching since forever.
Yep.
And I think my first question is that for you after watching this series, do you feel that we have gone back to the level of quality and storytelling we had within the Netflix era? Do you think it has surpassed it or it still is below it?
I don't know about surpassing it. I guess you can, it depends on your point of view about some things. Like that first season of Daredevil, I'm going to look back on pretty fondly. I think at least the first season of Born Again, I felt lived up to that because
Really?
well, I'm not a huge Foggy Nelson fan, and I'm not a huge Karen Page fan. And when you don't have very much Foggy or Karen, I'm going to enjoy the show probably a lot more. So it's the fact that here in the second season we had one episode that there was a lot of Foggy in it, and Karen Page is throughout the entire thing, whisper acting
Oh,
on hot on full blast, for goodness sakes. Uh, but there was still a lot of bits that I liked. I like Kingpin. I'm a Kingpin fan. I've been a Kingpin fan since the days of the old school Spider-Mans, like the ones from the 1960s and stuff like that. So
oh yeah,
I,
he's in there too.
he goes back a long way. It's the Ving Rhames interpretation of was it Ving Rhames or was it Michael C. Duncan, Michael
I
Clark
think,
Duncan? I
yeah, I
think
think
Michael
you're right.
Clark Duncan that did it in the Affleck version. I even like that. I think that was a great Kingpin.
But you would agree that Vince D'Onofrio is like
Oh, yeah.
the best.
He's like now people say, oh yeah, he's one of the best bad guys in Marvel ever, and you could put maybe even Purple Man on there and stuff too. I think the reason, and it's quite easy, why you can say, oh yeah, they're so great, is because they have time to develop. It's not a 2-hour movie. You got what? How many episodes was there a season in Netflix? 10,
13.
13 episodes a season. You had that long to saturate and
Yeah,
build Kingpin.
even
And then
though Kingpin didn't appear throughout 39 episodes
yeah,
because he was just like few, not cameos, but a small part in season two. He had
yeah,
like more than 20.
yeah. No, I'm not saying he had every episode, but he just had time to build. He didn't have 15 minutes. He didn't have a cameo in another movie and then shot it as the big villain of another movie and stuff like that. People got to know who Kingpin was. They got to know his back history, which I don't know how many people ever knew of before. How he didn't have a turns out didn't have a great childhood. Kingpin. It turns out he was a maladjusted child. Well, let's say that. You can see why in his psyche, maybe how Kingpin got to that place. So I think people can appreciate that, and also Vincent D'Onofrio was just great at
Yeah,
both things.
I'll argue like, especially the argument like there's so much watch time with him, like there's so much material that he's probably is the best MCU now MCU even
Sure.
or Marvel as a whole villain because I don't think anybody else maybe Magneto gets closer if you
It depends on how you want to view
join
Magneto.
Ian McKellen and if Fassbender might be the closest, maybe Loki
I
too.
think I think Magneto on screen is pretty comic book accurate, where he kind of goes through these things, incredibly evil, but maybe he could be aligned with good as it suits him, but then go back to evil and stuff like that. I think
Eh,
they work that out pretty well.
And kind of Loki in the same way. Like Loki, I think was a good introductory villain for
Yeah.
them too, but no one sees Loki as a villain anymore after the series, you know. And even
Which is a
before
shame.
the series, by Dark World and Special Ragnarok, he was more of an anti-hero more than anything. But I'd argue that you have a very minority point of view. I don't really see people disliking Foggy and Carrie that much.
No.
Especially if you think about it, they
I
were
just think
like,
they're whiners. They're whiners.
I find that point of view so interesting because it's really culture because everybody loves them that I see.
Right.
And one of the huge backlashes that season one of Born Again had is that because they're not present and problem with the writing of season 1 and 2, the other cast felt very blah,
Right.
very, you know, irrelevant. If they're not there, they're not gonna really change the story. They don't matter. They feel like filler. Season 2, I would argue even. I think season 2 redeem a lot of those characters. I think season 2 is very good. I would argue that in terms of quality overall, is in the same lane as the Netflix shows because I don't pray to the altar of the Netflix shows.
No.
I'm very fond of them as well, but I do think that people sometimes, for lack of rewatching or lack of being maybe too, or maybe by being too nostalgic, they put them in a place that like it's not Breaking Bad, you know. It's not that level of premium television. It's very close, but it's not there fully yet. Those Netflix seasons. But one of the things that I think this season 2 accomplished very well was putting more spotlight at these secondary characters that season 1 introduced and really didn't do a lot of it. Like if you think about it, Christy McDuffie in season 1, she's just there. She's like Foggy 2.0 with a third of the screen time. Cherry, right? The PI, Matt's PI, Cherry.
Okay. Yeah, Cherry.
Also didn't do a lot. They kind of just show up and somehow now they're part of the main cast. Even the Heather Glenn, like she was so blah in the first season. She was just like the Karen placeholder.
Yep.
And look what they do in the second. She became so much more interesting.
You think that's more interesting?
Yes. Like,
Yeah.
yes, in season 1, they couldn't really save the Muse storyline. I think we can all agree that Muse was very disappointing. Season
Yes. Yes, it was incredibly disappointing.
was very disappointing. Especially because we are so used to the Matt versus Kingpin dynamic, but a lot of times it is refreshing when it's not. That's not the focus, you know. Like one of the best things of season 2 is that like for the first half of season 2 of the Netflix show was Daredevil against Punisher.
Yeah.
Which is not necessarily a villain, but their antagonism is amazing.
Yeah. To say he's the anti-hero.
He's borderline villainous.
Yeah.
But that conflict is amazing.
Yeah.
Bullseye, obviously. You know, he's kind of the opposite Daredevil in a lot of ways. You know, he's that type of villain that is like the opposite of the hero, like the evil Daredevil stereotype. Yeah. And Muse didn't really add that much. However,
he could have.
Let's also remember, like even for people that haven't read the comic, how go ahead and not like that. She's complicated. Her history is very complicated. How she's ended up.
Sure.
So I think taking that turn with her, and I mean, let's not be no dishonest. We all know that she's going to be the new Muse, which
Yeah.
actually has precedence in the comics. Muse also
Well, there
has
was
a.
another Muse.
There's another Muse that is.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like I believe it was a
woman.
student or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't Heather.
Yeah, it wasn't her, but they're basically joining those two characters, joining two cultures. Something that MCU has done since forever, joining two
I,
separate
I
characters because turning
I
into
will
one.
say the whole thing with Heather and her putting the mask on at the end. At least they built to that so that it felt sort of earned, where she could have it. She's always had a problem ever since it happened, and Daredevil was there to save her and stuff like that. The fact that she was a psychologist and didn't realize that there was anything going wrong with her and didn't attempt to talk to any of her
It's a
compatriots is
trope.
not maybe not great, maybe not great.
It's the
Uh,
trope, like Harley Quinn is the
yep,
therapist, is the
yep.
is the psychiatrist that turns crazy. That goes back
Yeah,
to Edgar Allan Poe.
that Joker has a silver tongue. You know what I mean? He can talk to some people, and they're gonna do things. She's
Doctor
doing this
Tar and
100% on her
Professor
own. She does this on her own. She gets there.
Doctor Tar. I think it's Doctor Tar and Professor Feather, right? The same thing. The guys that run the island are they are the actual crazy ones. That's a
Sure.
trope in literature, and I like where they're going. I like the build up. I think Buck Cashman that felt like a discount. Wesley, we get a backstory, get a more of understanding.
I liked him.
Daniel was like, oh, maybe he is actually Kingpin's son. Maybe something happened
Oh,
between
I don't know if I
season 3.
ever thought that. What I will say is, and I will take this, and I'll admit it. I was pretty sure like they didn't kill Daniel. Like we would talk. I don't know if this was ever on camera. It's just something you and I talked about because we talked about the shows even before we started filming about these things. Like we were interested. We wanted to see more of it. Uh, I was sure that Buck just shot the ground, and then so I went back and watched, and it sure looks like there's a big cloud that pops up by Daniel's head when Buck
And that
shoots him. So I
was
think, no more
one of
Tony Jr. Tony Jr.'s gone, everybody. I
yes.
I made a mistake.
And it's okay, we all do.
How dare you? Oh, okay. So you said it was
That
okay.
is true.
Uh-huh.
No, and but one of the things I also enjoy from this near production team for Daredevil. Let's remember the Netflix shows had 3 different directions. Like every single season had a different showrunner.
Right.
We're seeing a Daredevil that, yeah, you could argue that there was quite a pain. That he was brought up when they were pivoting during the production of the first season. But at the end of the day, by the time that season 3 ends, you're gonna have a more cohesive vision from one guy.
Mm-hmm.
That actually started as the Punisher showrunner. It's very interesting. It explains a little bit the uses of violence and cursing in the show. It's way more punishing. Daredevil didn't have that. Had a lot of violence, but not that the description
It's
of it.
yeah. It seems a little more adult.
More gruesome
Yes.
than compared to, even though it's hard, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Sure.
It has a different vibe. It's
Yeah.
a vibe.
Sure. In that first season, Kingpin crushes a man's skull with a car
But it
door.
doesn't
But
really
you don't see it.
show.
You don't see it. You can just see him doing it, but you don't actually watch the head get split apart. You'll see things like this now.
Yeah. So that's the kind of vibe we're talking about. So like I do really like this season 2 because it does fix a lot of problems the season 1 of Born Again had. I think
Mm-hmm.
really solidify the Born Again brand as what always supposed to be marketed as is a revival, like many TV shows have. Many TV shows ended or got canceled.
You're gonna
10,
you're
15
gonna
years.
make me cry about the Buffy one. That's what you're trying to do, aren't you? You're gonna make me cry about Buffy again.
It's
Son of a
common.
bitch.
A lot of shows wish they didn't have revivals.
They're doing it right
maybe
now. Like Scrubs has a revival. Malcolm in the Middle has a revival.
Malcolm in the Middle, X-Files had revival.
That's coming.
Mm. So the season, I'll congratulate the season to really stop that, blurry things. This is really part of the MCU. Is the Netflix part of the MCU? No, this show really established who we are. Retro fitting the Netflix series into the MCU. There is no.
They keep it self-contained, though. They do
But
keep it
keeping it
self-contained.
self-contained,
Yeah,
and that's
inside the
fine.
largest city in the United States, but they keep it self-contained.
Because one of the things that we need to, be honest about, like, yes, we do love the connection. Marvel got to the point that it got by selling that all of these stories are within one universe and that they all matter at some level.
Right.
Even though not all of them matter. The Infinite Saga, I think people will really see it with rose-tinted glasses there. Does Ant-Man the Wasp really matter? Like, besides the post-credit scene?
Well, you get Ghost in it. Shows up Thunderbolts. So
Iron Man 3 was very disappointing the other day.
Sure.
Like,
Aren't there people that absolutely love Iron Man 3,
there are a lot
though?
of people that love it.
Okay. No, good for
And
them.
I would say, like, Wonder Man was amazing.
Incredible.
Very, very surprising. And yes, it does justify better they destroying the Mandarin character. Which, by the way, if there is one thing that I hope that the MCU post Secret War does, and they're not gonna do this immediately, but if they decide to bring Iron Man back, played by somebody that is not trying to be Robert Downey Jr., I do hope that they try to do Mandarin right,
Yes.
Because it's very crazy to think that the face of the MCU, Iron Man, never really fought against its Joker. Crazy, huh? It's like we had an. It's like having an entire.
I think just to think that now you say Iron Man is the face of the MCU. It's so crazy.
Yes, crazy.
Yeah, incredible.
Anyway, back to Daredevil. So, at the end of the day, I think this season 2 was very good. Accomplished a lot of things. Is it perfect? No. It was way better than a lot of things that MCU has done, especially on television.
Sure.
It's way better than its first season. I think we can all agree that to this point, and let's remember, there's not going to be any other Marvel TV besides Vision Quest now.
Okay.
And Daredevil. We could.
What about Spider Noir? That is an MCU.
That's not an MCU. We can all argue that so far the conversation of the best things Marvel TV has done is WandaVision. I'm not the biggest fan of that. Can't deny that a lot of people love WandaVision. Loki. Loki did a huge lifting for the whole multiverse concept. Daredevil season 2 and Wonder Man.
You didn't like Agatha?
I think Agatha, Ms. Marvel, like I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me, but Falcon the 18th Soldier, I think they're good, but they don't really hit that level.
Right.
This season was able to, that WandaVision was able to, that even Wonder Man, by taking people out of surprise, was able to.
Are you saying that you think Wonder Man is better than Echo? Yes. Awful.
So
you don't even mention it.
It
never even gets mentioned anymore. Like, yeah, that's crazy.
I think we need to give props for them to get into this point, especially thinking that this whole thing could have gone a very different reaction and kind of buried this and then offering Charlie Cox, Daredevil, and Wilson Fisk, because I would rather they never coming back to that version that was so dystonic from everything that came before. And we saw snippets. We got like some snippets of that with Hawkeye and with She-Hulk. Echo, not that much. The problem with Echo is not Wilson Fisk on it. It's other things. It's rumors have it that got butchered during the editing. Was supposed something to be very different, but like I can still see that Echo somehow still fits into his Daredevil universe. It's just like they're kind of ignoring for Echo.
Yeah, yeah. It's the cousin they don't talk about.
But one of the things is that I do want to understand, like, what does holds you back from considering these even better than the Netflix shows? Is it because of Foggy and Karen, or there are other things?
Why I think that this is better than the Netflix show?
Yeah, why you don't think this is better than Netflix show?
Oh, I think that I think Daredevil should have Elektra. So I know you're not even a big fan of season 2, but Daredevil should have Elektra in it. That's it. They should have the hand. They had that. They can do maybe those things better than how they did it in Netflix, but that's Daredevil. Yeah, I think they're going more into what Daredevil became. I think they were really interested in the dual life of Matt Murdock through both the series, really, and stuff like that. How he's a lawyer who also has this secret identity as a crime fighter, or the other way around, and stuff like that. I really enjoyed the mystical parts that Daredevil had, at least when I was reading them when I was a kid. So I enjoyed those parts. Maybe not the best stories, but
you feel the lack of that.
Yeah, there's a lack of that, and yeah, it's just I'm not a huge Karen Page fan at all, and then we just got a lot of Karen Page.
If somebody's watching this, like they're gonna say, I haven't heard that kind of thing is very rare from the typical space. Like I never seen somebody saying that they have problem with Foggy.
What Foggy is annoying, and he's always trying to guilt him all the time. He's whining about everything. I don't remember Foggy like that in the comics. I think this is something they did for TV to give Foggy more
something to do.
Yeah, like they're buddies. Like I couldn't imagine Foggy from the comics. At least from when I was reading when I was younger, doing like just whining and complaining about Daredevil all the time. I couldn't imagine.
In hindsight, there is a lot of that, especially on Netflix.
Yeah.
That being said, though, like I'm not married to the versions of the comics.
No,
I do expect some level of accuracy. I don't want it to be completely different. But I'm not married to those visions unless it's something that is very, very like. I never understood why Juggernaut cannot be Professor X half brother,
Yep.
Something feels that something's missing.
Yep. Maybe they'll fix it. Fix it. Yeah.
Why does Deadpool don't talk? Remember the origin on there?
Terrible. I was so excited for Daredevil. For Deadpool, and then I got that. The mark with the mouth without a mouth.
Because of the whole pivot thing that season 1 had to do. I do think that people don't realize how important it was to have Foggy dead, because that basically there was nothing left.
No moral compass for Daredevil.
Do you think that? Look, the Netflix show kind of always promised that Matt and Carol would have a relationship. They never get really into that. Very close by season 2, but then Edgar comes along.
Yep.
And then they kind of fulfilled the promise here at finally Who knows what's gonna happen afterwards?
Don't they say that they love each other in this? For God's
Yes.
sakes. All right.
But look, the whole mystical part, like I like ninjas,
Yep.
but you can't say that like they throw that in there with Stick. Great portrayal, by the way, by oh my god, why am I forgetting his name?
The Scott Glenn.
Scott Glenn. If there's one guy, if you should bring
Wait a
him
minute.
back,
I think that should be celebrated way more than I actually remembered an actor's name. Pretty impressive.
if there is a dude you need to bring back, at least for one scene, Scott
Yeah.
Glenn.
Yeah, if you're gonna do flashback scenes with Foggy, what a whole thing with Stick. Just call it My Adventures with Stick, and just have him go beat up ninjas. That'd be fun.
That brings like a conversation that I see a lot of people having those big channels like Screen Crush, New Rockstars, and blah blah blah. Basically, what this Daredevil is trying to do is to redeem the whole Defender storyline, because things really start to plummet after season 2 of Daredevil.
Right.
You had season 1 was amazing. Then Jessica Jones comes along. For a lot of people, is their favorite series of all the Netflix seasons.
That first season is some of the best you'll ever see.
I do think that the 13 episodes just showing Luke Cage in the beginning and stuff, there is no real build up. Like, I didn't like the approach of like starting the thing in the mid of Jessica Jones' life was kind of weird. But yeah. Well, I mean, David Tennant, oh my god, amazing.
Yeah.
But then you get to season 2, get to Luke Cage. You kill Mahershala Ali in the middle of the season, and you mark he's going to be the big bad.
Mm-hmm.
Then Iron Fist comes on, and then the defense.
Okay.
Back
yes.
to back to problems. So they
should have just done. They never should have done an Iron Fist show. They should have just done Power Man and Iron Fist. It would have made it easier.
So like, even though I do understand, and look, we're gonna see how they're gonna fix this, redeem this, but like it's very tangled, man. It was like back to back to things that were like season 2 feels like 2 different seasons inside the same season for Daredevil. Yep. Luke Cage feels like he should have just be like half of the episodes instead of like putting a new like.
You think if they would have put? You think if they would have put Luke Cage on Disney Plus and have the episode, do you think it would have been a better season, a better story?
I think that they would have done what you're saying. They wouldn't have tried to do individual shows for literally everyone.
Right.
I think they would have kept Daredevil the way it is. I think they'll probably have introduced Jessica Jones in a season and then see if there is steam to make a separate show, kind of like they did with Echo. And I do think they and that's probably what's gonna happen. Maybe they would have done Luke Cage and Iron Fist together. They wouldn't have done separately.
Yeah, I think it's you could have had you have to have Jessica Jones with Luke Cage at some.
But I'm talking about the Marvel television of now. Now. Yeah. Marvel television of 2020, 2021 might have done the exact same thing as Netflix. So
right.
Full disclosure here.
Nowhere near as many episodes.
Nowhere near as many episodes, but probably will have tried to do individual shows. We got a Moon Knight series, for God's sake. We got a She-Hulk series. Where are they? I don't know. I don't think they're ever coming back.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't have gone with the the fourth wall breaking She-Hulk, because She-Hulk, I grew up with She-Hulk and the Fantastic Four, so like those are the first times I ever knew there was a She-Hulk, so I was always a big fan of her, and they just went the Ally McBeal route, which is fine.
Even though you have the most contrarian position towards Daredevil, I think we can all agree that this was a huge step.
Oh, sure.
I think people can we cannot go to the end of times like arguing if this is at the same level or below or surpassing it. But at the end of the day, we are truly back this time.
Yeah,
With
like
Daredevil.
I can complain about Foggy. I can complain about Karen. I can complain about a lot of things. Doesn't mean I didn't enjoy this at all. I'd rather have I'd rather have the Foggy Nelson show where him and Karen just meet at a coffee shop to bitch about Matt for an hour for 13 episodes. If we had Daredevil in it a couple of times, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I liked a lot of this stuff.
That being said, though, it is an interesting year for Marvel now, 2026. Soon we're gonna
Mhm.
have Spider-Man with its fourth movie, huge milestone. Sam Raimi wasn't able to do that with Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
and I do really feel that what Sam Raimi really wanted to do. Like he didn't want to end
No.
with Spider-Man 3.
Well, he's a huge fan, but also there's a lot of money. There's a lot, and he made them a lot of money.
Which ties to this show, which I don't think.
And Maguire, Tobey Maguire, made more money than anybody because he got a piece of the movie to do it. It's crazy how much money he made.
And we're gonna get Doomsday.
Yeah.
And next year, the only movie is Secret Wars. And in terms of movies, and for TV, our next one's gonna be Vision Quest, and then season 3. Which brings me to the point that like we don't fully we know that Marvel is going to do a reboot with Secret Wars because it's necessary. The multiverse saga unfortunately has lost a lot of its audiences. I disagree with the theory that the problem is the multiverse concept itself. I do think that a lot of the good things we got from this saga was because of the multiverse. Like No Way Home, like I like Doctor Strange. Yeah, there's a problem with Wanda, but
I loved Doctor Strange, but I'm a Doctor Strange guy.
yeah, like people really like Wanda, but like I grew up watching X-Men 97 and X-Men Evolution. Yes,
Yeah.
I haven't rewatched it, but I love watching it.
Have
The
you?
original one.
Yeah, all right.
And Wanda was a villain. A very, very scary villain.
Sure.
The point that you got irritated, like, oh, why she's going and like Magneto is cool. Why she's going against her own that obviously you know why. It's not the greatest that with her.
No.
And the fact that like we basically like have like half a movie of her being a villain is like never see about with me. You know, like she's a villain like for like the first hour and a half of Age of Ultron, and now we're
yeah, but with her and them getting the X-Men back, you have to wonder if they're going to do House of M stuff, just so you can see. Yeah,
but regardless,
if you want evil Wanda,
regardless,
it's there.
We are closing to the end of the multiverse saga. That Marvel lost a little bit, you know. Nowadays, people I think have way more high hopes with James Gunn's DC, everybody's kind of kind of skeptical, kind of cautiously optimistic. Like, I don't think Doomsday was gonna be better than not gonna hit the same level the Endgame did in 2019. I don't think it's even fair to that movie to.
I wouldn't say it's fair. I wouldn't say it's fair at all.
But regardless, we know that
maybe are they still doing 2 Secret Wars? Or are they doing 1 and 2? Or are they doing just one large Secret Wars?
There was this rumor, but no, it's gonna be Doomsday is gonna be Secret Wars. They're basically redoing Infinite War, they're redoing Endgame with more characters.
Yes. Yeah, it would be unfair to categorize Doomsday with that, especially if they're just throwing Doctor Doom in for the first time. At least you got a lot.
It's going to be this Doctor Doom. It's going to be this Robert Downey Jr. tie-ins variant. Not necessarily a variant of Tony Stark, but there is a connection between them two because the same actor. That's the version we're gonna get, and we can, we've been spending years speculating about it. We got very close to seeing it. Might work, might not work. The only way you're gonna know is by after that movie comes.
Mm-hmm.
But this raises a question: like, okay, now we know we're gonna have season 3, and they do season 3, even though at least from the data that has been able to be tracked, viewership of season 2 wasn't that much, way low than season 1, which is a
really?
byproduct of, yes,
Okay.
which is a byproduct of season 1. I think less people didn't watch this season because there was a huge disappointment of season 1 of their Born Again. There is enough time for this, from word to mouth. Hey, no, this is actually very good. You should check out. To by the time season 3 comes out, those numbers in the long run are better. Maybe not, but I have more feeling that because season 2 was better, season 3 is gonna have a better viewership. But I do get a little bit scared that, like, we just got them back. We just got Charlie Cox back. Just got Vincent D'Onofrio back. We just got a season that really reconnects everything to the MCU. We feel we're back on track, and in a year and a half from now, we're gonna reboot.
Yeah.
Vincent D'Onofrio is not getting any older at this point. Like, you need to use like the fat suit.
I would
to make him.
I would say the opposite. I would say he was not getting any younger. I would say that yes, he is getting
not
older.
getting any younger. Yeah.
How chronology works is that he is, like most people, maybe besides me, keep getting older.
Charlie Cox too, man. Like,
Yeah.
even though he looked great.
One thing you have to worry about with everybody, and then you hear the word reboot hanging over everything like a cloud. Do these actors just age out of these characters? The characters are eternal. You look in the comic books and they stay the same. You know,
Yes.
these guys are going to age out of this stuff. You have to come up at some point and say, we have to get this right again. We have to set this thing back.
And that's
no origin stories, no more origin stories, but you have to start this everything or whatever from the beginning.
And that's the thing, because like, we just got them back. Now we just got them back at the level that we are hoping for, basically 8 years. Like, season 3 of Daredevil was 2018, and it was canceled a lot right afterwards.
Right.
It feels weird if they want to reboot after Secret Wars.
Canceled and removed. Like, they got rid of it.
They got rid of it very quick.
Yeah.
It also took 3 years for Charlie Cox to appear back. 3 long years, but still just 3 years for us to see Charlie Cox again. 4 years, like Hawkeye came out 2022. And then we saw Vincent D'Onofrio back. So it wasn't that long either.
Right.
So I don't know, man. If they're just bringing the Defenders back, they're just bringing, like, they're doing this whole thing with Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox. It feels too soon. If they say, by 2028, different actors, bring Foggy back.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that worries me, that people are jumping the horses and think that season.
Are you going to want to see a 50-year-old Daredevil, though? I just don't. Well, like, it's like as long as Charlie Cox can play an early 30s guy, that's fine. I think that's fine. But if you want him just to keep going around even after 2028 and stuff like that, he's gonna start looking his age.
I think that the timing really, really complicates things, because if you tell me the next year we're gonna get season 3 of Daredevil and that's it, all these people are gonna be replaced.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel too soon.
Okay.
We just got John Burton back. We just got Charlie Cox. That's the feeling that we have. We just got them back. They barely, for a lot of reasons, but they barely have any time. Like, I don't have high hopes for Brand New Day, and we're gonna talk about this in the second half of this show. I don't think Brand New Day is gonna tie in that much. It's gonna have a tie in. We have seen the trailers.
Yeah.
But that I don't think goes too much. Marvel is pivoting of trying to make the TV and the movies to link together. So like I do think that unfortunately, as of right now, you either plug the you take the plug out of all these characters after next year, or yes, you let those characters age a bit. And I don't see a problem with that. Because at the same time though, like I bought killing Nelson, killing
Foggy.
Yeah, I was almost saying he's fully gonna
Foggy Nathaniel Nelson.
Yes. I bought it, killing him in those first minutes of Born Again. I thought that was necessary because if you watch back Netflix, yes, ends in a good note. They're all together. Now it's Nelson, Murdoch, and Paige. But there was nothing else to do with Foggy.
Right.
They did everything they could on those 3 seasons plus Defenders with that character. At the most, what you can have is why your camera out of focus?
I have no idea.
I noticed that.
There's like this. Foggy. You started talking Foggy, and so it went. See, you can go like this. Oh, I can go right up close. That won't do anything. We started talking Foggy. Went Foggy. Maybe.
Oh my god.
I should say a thing like perfect focus. No, it doesn't listen to me. I thought it might.
Anyway, so to finish the point, so you can go to our break.
Sure.
I bought that idea. I bought the concept, and I agree. I think even though we harvest the fruits. There we go. That was the revenue created. You're back.
Okay.
Even though the consequences and the good things we got it on this season on the next one, like killing Fog was good.
Sure.
Putting Kevin Page a little bit in the back burner and having new characters was good. Like, let's be honest, it was tiresome. We know that Karen's not gonna die. We know they're not gonna do.
It might be called Born Again. They just they borrowed the name. That's it.
They're not gonna do what Frank Miller did.
Yeah.
Don't try to fool.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Karen does not out Matt Murdock in this. He outs himself.
So I do think that like I would be fine. I would be fine if it gets to a point that they need to reboot it. Like they have to come up with another metaphysical shenanigan to justify replacing the actors. I do think that like it's too soon. Yeah. What Marvel can still do with these characters within the MCU, even though yes, isolated a little bit within their own corner, no big huge tie-ins, no big huge cameos, but there's still a lot of potentials to just throw them out. I don't mind if you make Vincent D'Onofrio if he's up to it, and I think that's more the question: if the actor's up to it, or a fat suit, and that's the only way they can look like Wilson Fisk because he's not like at 60s. He's not gonna be, overeating the ass over his life.
Yeah, you have to put him in the suit. I think he has an advantage with that bald head, though. To at least makeup can keep him looking pretty much the same until he's ready to not do it anymore.
Well, but one thing that I would say, and I don't know if you agree with me, I hope they don't. They put him. He's going to still be present in season 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope he's not the main focus.
Yes, he can't be the main focus. Too many other villains.
You have to give a good, solid villain that is not Bullseye. Can't use Bullseye for this anymore. to
And they can't
be
make
the
they
main
can't
villain.
let Muse be the main villain.
It's not gonna
Yeah.
be Muse. We all agree with that.
Mhm.
So we are. So in some way, what you're missing, I do believe, like if they're bringing all the defenders back, it's because they are going to bring the hand storyline back and trying to make it better.
I hope so.
If they're really in Spider-Man, there are some people that think that that's like Head of Harry. They are not really. Those ninjas
Oh, that
are
isn't
really
that
not.
they aren't there.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
My point is, who? Electra again? That's the villain?
I wouldn't say it's the villain. You know, they like the anti-heroes and stuff too much to
Okay,
make
so who?
Electra.
You can't use the bullseye. And I think there's a good justification to not use bullseye. Some people really think that Marvel at some point wants to do the Dark Avengers. Like the one that Norman Osborn made, and we all know that Bullseye impersonated Hawkeye. He pretended to be Hawkeye. He pretended to be Daredevil in the past. Why he couldn't pretend to be another person again?
Right.
Okay. You're gonna use Muse, but not gonna be the main villain. Heather Glenn's not gonna be the goddamn villain that you needed all the defenders to fight against with. She's just, crazy. No. Not gonna be the Punisher. So who is
it
who is
can't.
that? Who is that? I that's what I need to know.
The hand is always something that you have that you can use. There's gonna be mutants at the time. Are they gonna try and put mutants in there? They're gonna have mutants in
Season
New York City.
3, I do believe, and it's not confirmed, but I think all signs post that if it don't, season 3 is gonna come out after Doomsday. Season 3 happens before Doomsday.
Okay.
Same thing. I think I forgot now if we're gonna get Vision Quest later down the Zero beginning of next year. I forgot, but I don't think we're gonna have anything between after Doomsday that is not just Secret Wars. That's
Right.
I'm pretty sure we're not gonna. Yeah, first of all, we're not gonna get a movie between those two movies, but the same way that Ms. Marvel and Ant-Man the Wasp were not between those two movies, even though technically there is a post-current in Ms. Marvel that is between those two movies. But there is going to be before. They even might. Here's the thing: you even might end season 3 because we also don't know if season 3 is truly the end of the show.
Yeah, we don't know.
You might end season 3 if you're like, oh my god, the sky is turning red. There is an incursion, and now everything's becoming Battle World or something.
Sure.
Go watch Doomsday.
Have Battle World on a local level. I think would be fun. He's got to get out of that prison. So you can imagine that the cops or whatever that are in there with him or whatever, they're going to be a villain for a little bit. But you have to have somebody outside pulling the strings.
I think if they are smart, because I am a little bit tired-ish of the whole Wilson Fisk against Matt Murdock, because this is the fourth time we got this.
Yeah, you've seen it.
If I were then, yes, I would still continue that storyline because it's very interesting. The place they left him about Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
Not no longer being the mayor. Maybe really admitting that he is the kingpin of crime. But do a little like you did on season 2. Let he be there. He might, but it's not the final confrontation. Because at the end of the day, if you really, there is no other place to finish the Man Murdock and the Wilson Fisk conflict if it's not killing one of those characters. Can't put him back to prison. Did that twice.
No. Yeah.
Cannot pretend that much. Now this time Matt's gonna really kill Wilson Fisk. Not gonna work.
Nope.
They're very honest in this season. Wilson Fisk, like that fight that they have.
Would you be okay with Punisher killing Kingpin, and then we get a Punisher Daredevil fight at the end?
Nah.
Seems like an easy way out.
it's just like why that hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
You have to kill him. You have to kill Wilson Fisk, and I don't think that this is the time that you're gonna do it. Might be wrong. They might do it next season. They might finish Born Again with, and we're gonna maybe just continue with Charlie Cox and see him in other adventures. They might, after Secret Wars, bring Foggy back to make you feel very, very happy. But if I were Dan,
they'll make him the new Bullseye.
If I were Dan, I would renew this show for 2 more seasons. Because I think originally, at least from the showrunner from Netflix, the idea was to have 5 seasons of the original show. And that was kind of the point. Like, season 4 wouldn't have Kingpin. It would be way more Bullseye focused. Literally, that's how season 3 ends, with a postcard scene for Bullseye. And season 5 is the final confrontation. And I do think that they kind of have to do that. Like, season 3, he's there, but he's rebuilding. Maybe something takes the focus out of season 4, and then you finish with a strong season 5, and you kill the character. And then you figure out a mutant magic way to bring a new one back. Because this is also, like, just to finish the point, this is one of the things people think that because Secret Wars is going to be just one cohesive universe, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to abandon fully multiverse or alternate futures or time travel. Let's remember what is one of the best, if not the best, storyline for X-Men.
With Days of Future Past?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That is multiversal in nature, so you either do it now and have this feeling of, oh, okay, too soon, or at least give this show 2 more seasons. Take out of the focus on the season 3, and then after Secret Wars season 4, and then you finish good with season 5.
Well, if Daredevil can't finish against Kingpin, he has to finish against Bullseye. They're going to have to figure out a way to get that done, because I cannot accept.
Oh my God.
A Bullseye that's, chums somehow with Daredevil. It is against the laws of nature, Danny.
They're not trying to redeem it. That's not.
Yeah, they made it worse. They're making them work for the government. So there you are.
Nah, come on. That's actually it's not surprising. Like, it kind of makes sense if you think he worked before. That's how it.
Well, yeah. Well, no. Yeah. He was a cop or whatever. But yeah, we're talking about the super villain,
Bullseye. Not just a cop.
Or sorry, yeah. The Bullseye character or whatever from the comics or whatever is, a killing machine or whatever, and an uncaring killing machine. And yeah, so why not work for the government? It seems fair.
Before I go to a break and do a quick, not too long discussion of the Punisher, final thoughts. I think we're both in agreement that this season was good.
It was good. Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of the ending. I think they give Kingpin probably pretty light sentence for a guy that had done so much corruption. Like, his punishment forever is to go to the beach. It's not great. And you see, it was a fun fight scene, but I don't know where this mob got so organized that they all had little Daredevil masks and stuff like that. We never even talk about BB and her podcast that everybody in New York sees for some reason.
Yeah, the BB was maybe the most underwhelming character.
Yeah, I didn't get it. A very important podcast.
But him punching everyone, being basically a Darth Vader hallway fight.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, he's like, boom, and then goes batshit crazy.
It's about time you see it. Like, that's the one thing you can say. That's one thing you can say about that whole Kingpin thing. It's about time you see it. Him breaking the guy's back over the corner of the wall. Fantastic stuff. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So exciting.
Yeah.
I think that this season was exciting. more than trying to evaluate, to be contrary to my first question,
Sure.
it's better, worse, or surpass Netflix. It was exciting and leaves you. I wasn't this. I was excited for season 2 because I knew, okay, all this pivoting, stitching two different versions of a show together would disappear. But now I'm more excited. I am very curious what they're going to do with the Defenders. I'm very curious what they're going to do with Kingpin. I am worried some that might pull the plug too soon. But that's a good feeling. This is the first time with Marvel that, like, we don't really know what's going to go on. And for a long time, since the end of Endgame, we don't have this feeling, right? That you can predict.
Yeah, you don't know where they're going to go. You don't know where they're going with this thing. But you do know that they are going because I think they've already filmed most of season 3. So I can't wait to see some more stuff. I can't wait to see more Luke Cage. I just want more. We get Luke Cage for 2 minutes. We get more.
You know what? I mean, we need to finish this conversation, but you know what? If they really are faithful to the ending of season 2 of Luke Cage, he might be the villain too.
Not bad.
But hey,
not at all.
Let's go to a break and then we talk about real quick about
Mr. Punisher.
Frank Castle.
That's Castle. That's Castle to you and me.
And we're back. For people feel like just like 2-3 seconds, but
yeah. If you haven't felt, guys, if you haven't felt punished enough, we'll Punisher talk.
Like, let's get straight to the point. Did you enjoy watching the special?
I did enjoy it. I didn't absolutely love it, but I did enjoy it. I think this is the perfect length for a Punisher thing. I'm glad they didn't make this a movie and try and draw this out for 2 hours. Do I think they could have done more with Monucci, stuff like that? Sure. I not being said, I enjoyed that they just portrayed her as a frail old lady, which is kind of fun. I think it would have been a lot more gruesome if they wanted to talk about what Frank Castle does to Monucci in the comics and stuff like that. So this is, I think, a nice compromise. It's the Punisher running a gauntlet. Well, there isn't much else you're gonna want to ask.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people like saying, this could have been like a lowish in terms of Marvel budget, not an hour and a half movie. I look, John Burt. I like this portrayal of John Berto, and I know that you're not necessarily the biggest fan of whiny, crying Punisher.
Right. And there's a lot of it in this, which this isn't against character, though. He has times where, where things hit him, especially about his family. I know he doesn't like it when things like cops and soldiers and stuff like that get killed too and stuff like that. So, and also, he's never been diagnosed with having mental problems and stuff like that. But I think we could all pretty much see for ourselves. Frank Castle isn't a well-adjusted man. I don't think he's going through grief. I don't think he's going through grief right. You know what I mean?
Look, Born Again also had the same thing. You always retread and remix and redo.
Yeah.
Plot lines and character acts. Like, Frank Castle quit being the Punisher. I think this was like technically the 3rd time. Because by the season 1 of the Punisher show, he was technically not the Punisher anymore. In the beginning of the show, he was a construction worker. He kind of we don't have any idea really what he was doing by season 1 of Born Again, which I also think the timing has passed. For some reason, Marvel refused to give details, information on what happened in that time frame. Like, we barely know what happened with a lot of characters that survived the blip. For some reason, Marvel moved on from the blip era, and just like WandaVision a little bit showed like the repercussions of that period. That was like 5 years in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Echo kind of pushes through it, tries to give a little bit of context, but like,
So memorable.
yeah. And the only thing that we know is that like Matt still was Daredevil because technically there is a fight scene between him and Echo.
Yeah.
That was during the blip period. So like, okay, he quit in the Punisher because he finally killed everyone that was related to his family,
Yeah.
which is kind of funny because if you go all the way back to season 2, basically everybody has something to do with his family being killed.
Every crime boss, every crime family.
Which I think at some point, and I hope maybe they linked that, like the people that was really related to his family being killed, like by season 1 of the Punisher series, that was resolved.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is the funny thing is that Frank Castle creates excuses to kill these people. That like, this family was responsible, but now I'm gonna kill the friend of the third cousin of the brother of the half brother of the person that killed my family. He always finds excuses.
That's right.
And that's for me.
Run down the family tree. That's Frank Castle's motto.
I actually do agree with your take that I think it was a good runtime because as much as I love John Burton's portrayal, and I think more than you, he's obviously a huge actor. He's a movie star. He's gonna appear on the next Christopher Nolan movie, for God's sake.
Sure.
The character of the Punisher doesn't have that much place to go. Yes, it's a good commentary on PTSD of people that join army, join the Marines, and they can't adjust to normal life. All that commentary is good. There's always potential to explore that. But at the end of the day, you can't do much with the Punisher character. Like you can't bring his family back because then he's not the Punisher anymore. There is no reason.
Brought him back a lot in this. Brought him back a lot in this.
No, you can't give him angel powers and mystical guns. Like the comics try to do.
Mm-hmm.
You could, just for the dumb fun of it, try to put him in space. Punisher in space, killing.
Give him a symbiote.
You could give him like. None of this feels like the Punisher. Like this is just like things to have fun. But at the end of the day,
Punisher's a man. Like that's I think what we can say. The Punisher does not have superpowers. His only power he has is bloodlust. That's about it. Yeah, and the skills to get away with it for the most part.
I do like that. Like I do feel that this TV special, which it wasn't a huge turn-in of Daredevil, like some people thought it would be. Oh, this is really gonna explain why he's not on season 2.
Didn't do anything.
It's
self-contained.
Very self-contained. I think the only purpose in the grand scheme of the MCU was to show that there is two sides of the Punisher. One is the bloodlust revenge killer, always constantly seeking revenge. But there's also the somewhat redeeming part is he also wants to do good. He wants to be a hero, even though still a very bloodlust.
Yeah. He doesn't
killer.
He doesn't kill willy-nilly. He kills with a purpose. He doesn't want to go after cops and soldiers, never kids and stuff like that. That would crush him. He wants bad people to pay for what they've done.
And I think, and that's the kind of, we all know that he's in Brand New Day. I think that's, they wanted to do this to showcase that
shaved.
Easy his own.
The time to shave before he got into Brand New Day.
Exactly.
Mhm.
he's going to be, he's trying to be a hero in his own way. That
Sure.
basically no other villain, no other hero agrees with his methods.
And to say even hero, if he wants to be a hero, I don't know if he wants to be a hero. I just think there's a need inside of him to do this. I don't think he's going out to save the day at all. He's going up because he feels the need that people should be brought to whatever kind of justice he decides to mete out.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, the Punisher is a representation. The character is a representation of this very primal sense of justice.
Sure.
Like the only way that these people can get to punishment for the crimes is by death.
Yeah.
Which is very representative, like, of things we have in the real life. There is a lot of people that feel that at the end of the day, and there is not going to be true justice with rehabilitation and everything at the end of the day. If not everyone, which I don't think everyone is unredeemable. I don't believe that. But there is an argument to be made that maybe certain people never gonna be rehabilitated to society.
Sure.
And they're gonna always be a problem. And I think the Punisher exists to represent that view of the world that is very cruel, that is very hopeless, but does exist.
Mhm.
Like, let's, the famous argument, like, if Batman killed the Joker, like, a lot of people would have been saved.
He wouldn't have been. He would never have been able to forgive himself.
Yeah, and then there's the whole thing of the Batman who laughs, which is actually the Batman that actually kills the Joker and then basically
Right.
becomes the Joker.
Mhm.
The Arkham games kind of reference that. There is a reason why Batman shouldn't kill the Joker, because if he kills the Joker, he becomes something even worse than the Joker.
Yeah.
But Punisher, at the end of the day, Punisher is a representation of that. So for me, he works way better as not a villain, but an antagonist to the Boy Scout, the Daredevil.
Yeah.
He there is that moral dilemma, that ethical dilemma, that there is no true answer for. It's no true resolution for the, like, should you kill or should you imprison people, even though we know that this justice system is either corrupt or inefficient or both. That at the end of the day, a lot of bad people get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
But there is no true moral resolution. Both sides are wrong. Like, you could argue that Daredevil is wrong because, yes, his method is half measures. He just
Plus, he takes it upon himself to get the justice and stuff like that. He doesn't go through the actual court of laws, and especially since he's a lawyer,
Exactly.
goes against everything he's against. You would think,
Exactly.
or you would think.
And that argument, at the end of the day, is always, that dynamic is always more interesting than one more excuse for revenge. That's why, like, even though I do understand, yes, there is potential with the actor to make a movie, it can't really do much with the character. You either do what this special presentation they do, is basically he going that shit, killing everyone, even though in this,
Well, they were trying to kill him and
yeah,
stuff like that. It's not like he was.
survival.
Yeah, he wasn't going after them. They were coming after him, and he just dealt with it.
Or you do the revenge story, just go batshit crazy, killing everyone out of revenge,
Which is what they've done already.
done plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go with this, like, he's trying to, be a hero in his own way, because that's the impression that I got by the end of this.
Yeah, maybe by the end, sure.
Yeah, he decided to not go after the old lady, but to save the family.
Yeah.
Even though
Manucci.
Yeah.
I just want to say this is I didn't realize it when I was watching the show. It's like, oh, they have Manucci. That's cool. And they did the whole thing, killed her 3 sons. Yes. Of course, Manucci was more ambulatory in the comic books and stuff like that. What Frank Castle does to her in the comic books, far worse than her just being frail and in a wheelchair. We'll just say that.
Yes.
But to know that the lady playing Manucci was Judith Light, who was Angela from Who's the Boss, blew my mind. When I didn't know about it when I was watching it. I didn't even know she was familiar. She just looks like a frail lady and stuff like that. And then I'm told, oh yeah, that's Angela from Who's the Boss. And I went, what? So I have to go back and watch it again. It's like, there's the face. I get it now. I get it. It doesn't have the big 80s hair anymore. It doesn't have Tony Maselli, walking in on the shower at the beginning going, oh, classic sitcom stuff and stuff. But yeah, it was fantastic to know that was Judith Light. I like that a lot. And that John Barenthal wrote and produced the whole thing himself too, like acting.
I think that's also a good point. Like, it's cool that Marvel gave him that opportunity. I do like the callback to One Batch to Batch from season 2. Like, that's how that character was introduced. Once again, is one more effort of Marvel, welcoming and retrofitting the Netflix era, back to the MCU. I'm just saying that, like, I'm satisfied with Rhaegar because I don't want more. I just don't need more. Exactly. I don't need to see him going on a revenge killing spree or seeing that. I don't need to see him trying to not be the Punisher again. I kind of already seen that. So yeah, I'm satisfied of him being this, dysfunctional hero.
Yes. Now
that serves better as a not necessarily a side character, but as an antagonist to a Daredevil, to a Spider-Man. That's more you see him as Spider-Man.
The devil, he's the devil on the shoulder for he's the bad part of the psyche and stuff like that, and Daredevil's the good parts and stuff like that. They're two sides of the same coin. These guys, they're not. That's why they can coexist. They don't hate each other. I don't think. They just think of the world very differently, even though they have the same common goal. I would say that. Now, I think for a guy whose entire family was killed, to just keep thinking about his daughter all the time, I didn't understand that at all. Like you see brief bits about the wife, sure, little bits about the son, the youngest one, yep, little brief bit. But there's a lot to do with the daughter in this one. He seems to be really put off about that.
I think there's I'll push back a little bit. I think the presentation did that hallucination that he has with Karen,
right?
Which she is being Karen, but at the same time she's the dead wife,
right?
She's even wearing the same clothes and saying, you couldn't wait to get back to the war because that's one of the things makes most sense. You really didn't want to be daddy normal guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll push back a little bit. I do think that there's something there that they wanted to. This is a very common thing that, like, veterans they're so used to the environment of war that they basically they can't really readjust. Ties more back to the whole PTSD thing, that it is very deep, and it can always create stories that link to that. That's kind of season 1 and season 2 of The Punisher Dead. That Darius caught up in that.
Sure.
He tried to lean more into that because at some point, like, there's much you can do with the whole revenge killing thing. It's just supposed to be fun. and how that makes you feel, even though there's not going to be any real-time ends. But at least now we know what is on his mind. His mind is that he's going to be his version of a hero.
Yep.
And yes, the show really helps with the low punch is like, okay, yeah, we wanted the guy that killed the goddamn dog.
That's what I was waiting to bring up and stuff like that. It's like of all the shows that just didn't need a John Wick kind of thing, I don't think we need to have any excuse for, Frank Castle to go and kill a bad guy, but to beat up a veteran, A, and then B, steal his dog and throw it underneath a truck. Yeah, you knew this guy was coming, but they do save the only time he wears the suit for him. And you also see him brutally massacre so many people, and you barely see anything about this guy at the end. He throws the knife, and then it goes and cuts to the Punisher at the very end. You don't even get the satisfaction of what he's going to do to that guy, because you'd imagine he'd do it slow.
No,
he would have do that guy.
You finish with him pulling the trigger.
Yeah. That guy deserved more. I'm going to say that guy deserved a lot more.
So
ridiculous.
And I like when the stories themselves creates do the whole thing that like makes you agree with the Punisher. I think that's the only thing that I think that these shows do very great is that they are so batshit with the cruelty of the bad guys. Which, by the way, it's not unrealistic. There are people just like that motherfucker that beat up the veteran, the homeless veteran. So there are people like this in the real world. Mm-hmm. And I like that the show reminds us that this exists. This is way more close to reality than Darth Vader, than Palpatine. They are not guys in a suit with laser swords making people's life horrible, but there are people, unfortunately, that do beat up homeless people, steal their dogs, and kill their dogs.
Yeah, fun. Monsters, true monsters.
But that kind of leaning, it's something that I don't need a full movie of because I already have seen it. I am more curious how they're going to put this guy alongside Tom Holland. Because obviously there's going to be a diminishing tone. You need, like, for you to have a Punisher, this version of Punisher of Tom Holland, you need to, bring down the level a little bit.
Yep.
For Frank Castle. And you also, but at the same time, you can't make Spider-Man so upbeat. And I do think even by the trailers, we see that this is a very sad Peter Parker.
Yes.
At least compared to the versions.
He's a lonely boy. He has no friends. His aunt is gone. Terrible time for Peter Parker.
And nowadays, I'm more interested in that than necessarily the revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to see the Punisher of other characters that fits within the street level.
Yeah.
Like,
well, about time. It's about time Punisher showed up with Spider-Man. He's a Spider-Man guy.
Exactly. But like, we haven't seen Punisher vs. Bullseye.
Yes, that is the time.
That is the time. I've seen Punisher with Jessica Jones that is not afraid of killing people. Or Luke Cage. They are not afraid of killing people.
Nope.
So because with Matt or if Spider-Man, it's easy to create a conflict. These are two heroes that don't kill. One because of religion, other because of the morality that he constructed by parroting from his uncle, in this case, his aunt. But Luke Cage and Jessica Jones do kill. She killed Kilgrave.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's still not at the same level as Punisher, so you can create, okay, what is the blurry line? Okay, we understand that the blurry line, the line between Punisher and Daredevil and Spider-Man is the no-killing rule. That's the same thing with the Batman. Same thing with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the line between Punisher and a Jessica Jones or Luke Cage that, they are going to kill him too. But they're not as vicious as Punisher. That, I think, is also very interesting. Why it's so easy for this guy to be batshit crazy and cool, sadistic. Because Luke Cage and Jessica are not sadistic. Even if they don't.
For Frank Castle, I think he still feels it's personal. I think everything is going to tie back to his family, at least in his
Exactly.
mind and stuff like that. Everybody else is business,
That's why I do think that his
except for
relation
the Purple Man stuff, where that was pretty personal.
that was pretty personal. But do
Yeah.
you understand that my argument is that he works better as a character inside an ensemble because of that
Yep,
than
he's always has like even like the war journals and stuff like that. The Punisher comics are fine. They're never as good as when you drop them in the middle of something. Just add a little bit of chaos. Just here you go. Just pop them into the middle of the Avengers or something like that. Out of the ordinary stuff. It's always much better. Yeah,
yeah,
a little bit of Frank Castle goes a long way.
yeah, and I hope Marvel utilize this very well because there are so many characters you can pair him with. Like Daredevil is obvious that that's what's going to happen. Spider-Man is a long time overdue.
Mm-hmm.
We very hope the Brand New Day is a great movie. I really hope so because I really
Yeah, I
want
hope
to see
so.
all of this work. And I also like Daniel Cretton,
Mm-hmm.
director. Uh, but I do hope that Marvel sees now, okay, let's the revenge thing, let's put aside for a sec. Did this millions of times, and let's explore why this character is the way that he is, even when he's trying to be a hero compared to the other heroes, even though the heroes that do not have a killing rule. Because at the end of the day, like you said, it always comes back to the revenge thing, but he's kind of addicted to being
Yeah,
this
it's
guy.
in it's in his psyche now. This is who he is. He's
Yeah.
a machine.
He can't stop himself from being like that.
Yep.
And I think that's what, and that's
Some
so
people,
fun.
some people, Danny, they're charitable people. You know what I mean? They really can't. They love to volunteer their time. With puppies, or they read to dementia patients, which is a very appreciative thing. Now, maybe a lot of people just work in a soup kitchen, just try to give back to their community. This guy kills people,
Yes.
but bad people. I think it's all pretty much the same.
It's good that it's only bad people.
Yes, that is true. Yeah, he might be a horrific murderer, but he doesn't for good, which is nice.
And that's once again another good argument why you should pay hand with other heroes because a lot of times, like with Daredevil, for instance, we are always putting the Punisher here to show that this is gonna happen with Matt if he ends up killing someone. It's gonna become like Frank Castle.
Yep.
But now explains to me why Frank Castle doesn't become a bullseye.
Yeah.
Where is the line? What truly forces Punisher to not become a villain? Because there
I think
haven't
he
been
has some. I
stories.
think he has a moral compass. It's just, it's kind of, it just goes a different way than a lot of people. It's in his psyche. You don't hurt, cops and soldiers. One, so anybody that works with cops and soldiers, you'd imagine they're going to be okay. Maybe a politician or two that he has to take care of. If he knows that they're a bunch of pieces of garbage, and children and stuff like that. He isn't going to do that. He isn't going to mess with them. So he has a point where he's not
But
he's had plenty of times to kill Daredevil and stuff like that too. He hasn't because I think he knows that they're kind of fighting on the same side, but he will take it the step further. He feels it needs to go. He doesn't see why people need mercy
at the
or
end of
deserve
the
it.
day, I think the presentation was fun. I
Yep.
wasn't expecting nothing more than just dumb, fun violence. I like when the MCU, it doesn't try to just fit into the whole four quadrants that Disney always wants us to be. You just, just dumb, like kids shouldn't watch this type of stuff. Fun.
I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed Werewolf by Night. I think they should do more of this with different characters and stuff like that. Ones that don't need a TV show, ones that don't need a movie. But you have all these characters, and they fit in a whole bunch of different universes. Why not do stuff like this with more characters? Put it out one a year. That's all you really need. And just that way you can use it for something. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. Yeah, because you never need another season of Punisher. You never need another movie.
Think we are in agreement, more in agreement here than I think Born Again, maybe.
We did it. We did it, buddy.
So, hey, this is the actual first episode.
Yes. We made it.
I don't even know if it's an episode of the podcast. I don't even know if this is technically a podcast. But
no, we don't know what it
our
is.
very first video of this channel
went off without a hitch. Went off perfectly. Exactly how we planned to do it, and without error, which is exactly the way I thought it was going to go.
So, for you guys watching, thanks a lot for listening, hopefully, to this whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, we don't try to be too much structured. We want to be more free-flowing. It's not to be a huge breaker down or talking about everything we like or dislike about this shows and movies and everything. Our next episode that we are going to take, we don't know. We still don't fully know when this is going to drop, but what we know is that the next one we're going to discuss about Star Wars, also things that I'm a huge fan of.
Can you believe we went this entire episode and didn't talk Star Wars until we had to mention we were doing it? Yeah. Can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
Next episode
I'm so proud of us.
A review and a discussion, and I think that's going to be the entire episode of The Mandalorian Grogu.
Yeah. Maybe throw a little Maul in there. We'll see.
Yeah.
If we get to it. Oh boy, gosh.
I don't want to watch, but
yeah. Are you gonna X-Men 97 this?
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. Very good.
But yeah, I haven't heard a lot, and I'm trying to stay away from spoilers.
Good.
But I'm hopeful that this movie is somewhat good. Like, we haven't had any Star Wars movie for 6 years. I think it was a necessary hiatus. I don't have too much huge expectations either for this movie. I also think it's kind of dumb to put so much pressure, so much heavy weight and baggage to a movie. I also think that's completely unrealistic. So I just hope it is fun.
Yeah, I hope it's fun.
And it's at least better quality compared to everything that Disney has ever done. I just hope that they were going to be able to be a step up from the sequel trilogy, from Solo and from Rogue One.
You didn't like Rogue One, you monster.
I like Rogue One. I think it's the best one.
You like a step up.
I hope it's a step up. I'm not expecting this to be a revolutionary. I don't expect this to have the same impact that the
I'm just hoping it's a step up from the TV show. Like, if they had to make this a movie instead of another season, I hope there's a reason why they made it.
I actually hope that is as good as those shows. At least it is amalgamation of the good parts of the Mandalorian TV show. But I'm not expecting another Andor. I'm not expecting something that is gonna even revolutionize Star Wars like the Mandalorian show did. Like, it became cultural zeitgeist. It's kind of saved Star Wars, They released it right on time on Rise of Skywalker then, and all know all the shit that created. So I'm not giving those expectations, but it's a optimistic hope that at least it's a step into the right direction after the problems that Star Wars had in the last decade or so.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for the Mandalorian and Grogu, which is not the best title for a Star Wars movie.
Also, I think I heard from Screen Crush it should be Grogu and the Mandalorian.
No,
it's way better with the mouth. The Mandalorian, Grogu and the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I think it's about
better.
Yeah, I think it's about the equal. It's not great. Not fantastic.
All right, guys, thanks so much for watching our very first video for this Snarkest hour.
Yeah, hour plus. It's been yes, bonus content here. The very first episode. To think that we're ever going to hit that hour mark would be foolish.
No.
Yep.
But at least we had fun.
That's true. Yep. Thanks everybody for watching. Guys, subscribe to the what is it called? Ko-fi, coffee, something like that. Join the channel. Plenty of things are gonna go on over there. We got the what we have here, the flagship show. We're gonna have plenty more when you join the coffee page. Can't wait to see you all there. Can't wait to go and do another episode. Snarkest Hour. See you at some point. I was going to say next week. We'll see. You know what? We're in that age where it's we'll see. We'll
No
see.
promises we can't keep.
It'll be soon enough. How about that? All right, get off my back. Thanks everybody for watching and listening, and we'll see you again next time, guys.
See ya, guys.